We have control over our minutes. We have control over our hours. We have control over our days, our weeks, our months, and our years. So stop moving through life like you have no say at all. Stop living as if your whole life is just a reaction to whatever other people decide to throw at you. You were the one who showed up. You were the one who accepted that invitation. You were the one who invited those people into your home. You were the one who stayed in that relationship with that man. You were the one who stayed in that relationship with that woman. That was you. So when the day is over, when the night comes and you finally lie down, how do you really feel about the life you just lived for that day? How easy is it for us to blame everything and everybody for what is happening in our lives? Now, yes, there are times when you can truly be a good person, a positive person, a person with pure intentions, a person who means well, and life still gets heavy. Sometimes life is rough. Sometimes things hit hard. Sometimes it feels like you just cannot catch a break. That is real. But for most of you, that is not the full story. Most of you wake up every day already connected to pain, already connected to dysfunction, already connected to drama, already connected to stress, already connected to being broke, already connected to struggling, already connected to every excuse you can find about your childhood, your family problems, and the dysfunction you grew up in. And you keep using all of that to explain why you have not become successful. But let's tell the truth. If you do not like your friends, why are you still around them? If you do not trust your managers, your agents, or your lawyers, then why are they still there? Do you really believe your life is going to become different? Do you really think your career is going to suddenly improve while you keep dealing with the same people, the same habits, the same circles, and the same situations that have already been draining you? That is all I'm saying. Look at the things you do. Look at the people you choose to be around. Look at the places you go. Look at the circles you keep moving in. Does that honestly reflect someone who truly loves themselves? Because if you really loved yourself, why would you keep dealing with those kinds of people? You already know what they say about you behind your back. You already know they are jealous. You already know they are envious of who you are, a keying of what you have going on in your life, and of what is happening in your career. You already know they do not like you, and they have made it clear. They have sent you every sign they possibly could send. They have shown you in every way possible. And still, because you are so desperate to have people around you, because you are so desperate not to be alone, because you are so desperate to keep somebody in your life, you go right back. You keep showing up. You keep accepting the invitation. You keep putting yourself in the same room with people who have already made it clear how they feel about you. Now understand this. I am not preaching separation for the sake of separation. I'm not telling people to go sit alone in the house, cut everybody off, have no friends, have no family, and do absolutely nothing. That is not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that at this point, you are old enough. At this point, you are mature enough. At this point, you should know the difference between good people and bad people. You should know the difference between healthy people and unhealthy people. You should know the difference between people who bring peace and people who bring darkness. And if you keep spending your time around negative, dark, dysfunctional people, you cannot expect to go to bed at night and feel peace. You cannot expect to lie down and truly rest. You cannot expect to feel good about your day when you filled your day with negativity, stress, and dysfunction. Stop being lazy with your life. Stop being lazy with your decisions. Stop being a person who is full of excuses. Stop sitting in that pity party. Stop coming up with every reason in the world for why you are not winning. You are the reason you are not winning because you keep dealing with negative, destructive, and dysfunctional people while somehow expecting a positive outcome. It is time to get up off the pity party. Stop complaining about being out of shape when you never go to the gym. Stop stepping out of the shower, looking at your stomach, looking at your body, complaining about your appearance, complaining about how you look while you're eating everything in sight and never exercising. You are the reason you look the way you look. You are the reason you are unemployed. You are the reason your environment feels so negative. You are the reason your surroundings feel so dysfunctional. You can still be in the hood, you can still be broke, and still live in peace. Body, that is a choice. That is a real choice. We are living in a generation full of people who have a reason for everything. A generation full of people who can come up with excuse after excuse about why they are not winning. And yes, you have that choice too. You can choose excuses, you can choose blame, you can choose denial, but do not act like negativity, dysfunction, problems, and drama just appear out of nowhere the moment you wake up. That is not how it works. Those people are in your life because you chose to include them. Those situations continue because you keep allowing them. So the outcome of your day, your hour, your minute, your week, your month, and your year keeps feeling draining, keeps feeling heavy, keeps feeling chaotic, keeps feeling crazy. because these are the exact kinds of people you keep deciding to include in your everyday life. You get 24 hours in a day, and when you go to sleep tonight, the way you feel about your day will depend heavily on who you allowed into it. So stop moving around like you do not have a choice. You do have a choice. You absolutely have a choice. Excuses always sound good to the people making them. You have every excuse in the world. That is why you are not moving. That is why nothing has changed, and that is why nothing will change, because you have convinced yourself that everything is wrong, everything is negative, and nothing can get better. And guess what? If that is what you keep feeding your mind, then no, it will not change. Change your mind, and it will change your life. If nothing around you changes, then change what is around you. I am tired of watching people destroy themselves mentally. I am frustrated with the number of people who are not successful, not because they lack talent, not because they lack ability, but because they have literally thought themselves into depression. They have thought themselves into negativity. They have thought themselves into misery. They have thought themselves into emotional bondage. They have thought themselves into holding on to a man or a woman they broke up with 1 year ago, 2 years ago. And they are still sad, still miserable, still stuck, while the other person has already moved on with their life. It is in the mind. It starts in the mind. Change your mind and your life will start to change. But first, you have to wake up. You have to wake up for real. You have to break that negative spirit. You have to break through all of that darkness, all of that heaviness, all of that emotional weight you keep carrying. You have to break it. You have to stop it. And let me say this clearly. I do not feel sorry for you. The problem is you feel sorry for yourself. That is the problem. Even when positive people try to pour good energy into you, you have trained your mind to twist everything good into something negative. Anytime somebody says something to motivate you, you flip it. Anytime somebody says something to inspire you, you twist it. Anytime somebody comes to you with good intentions, with positive thoughts, with words meant to lift your spirit, you shake it, you manipulate it, you turn it upside down, and somehow you make it negative. You are so committed to misery that even positivity cannot sit comfortably in your mind. That is unbelievable. So what if you grew up with them? So what if they are childhood friends? So what if they are family? You still have a responsibility to walk in the direction of peace. I want to laugh. I want to smile. I want to enjoy myself. I want to feel good about the people around me. I want to feel peace when I'm in a room. I want to feel light when my day ends. Just because you invite me does not mean I want to come. Just because you call me does not mean I am going to call you back. Just because you want me there does not mean I want to be there. Just because we are related, just because we are friends, just because we grew up together, does not mean I'm supposed to be involved in every single thing you want me to be part of. Why? Because my experience with you has not necessarily made me feel good about my life. My experience with you has not necessarily left me feeling at peace at the end of the night. And let me say something a lot of people need to hear. Just because you go to sleep does not mean you are resting. Just because your eyes are closed does not mean your spirit is at peace. Just because your body is physically asleep does not mean your mind has found rest. The reason so many people do not truly rest is because while they are awake, their life is filled with issues, problems, insecurities, dysfunction, negativity, noise, arguments, screaming, stress, and emotional confusion. So when the night comes, their body lies down, but their spirit is still in turmoil. Their mind is still heavy. Their emotions are still disturbed. Their energy is still unsettled. That is why sleep is not enough. You need peace. And peace cannot grow inside a life full of constant dysfunction. So stop playing the victim. You are not the victim. You decided those were your friends. You decided those were the people you wanted to spend your time with. You decided that was how you wanted to spend your day. You made those choices. When you get invited somewhere, that does not mean you have to go. When people call your phone, that does not mean you owe them access to you. When people want your energy, that does not mean they deserve it. Yes, no one wants to be alone forever. That is real. No one wants to walk through life without connection. But why would you choose to spend the rest of your life miserable, frustrated, insecure, drained, and unhappy just because you are afraid to stand alone for a while? Cyrus, why would you keep choosing what hurts you just because it keeps you company? You have a responsibility to feel good. Feeling good is not just something nice that happens by chance. Feeling good is not just a random opportunity. Feeling good is a responsibility you owe to yourself. And let me tell you something else. I do not care what people say about me. I honestly do not. I cannot remember the last time I lost sleep over a hater. I cannot remember the last time I let gossip ruin my peace. People talk, blogs talk, websites talk, conversations happen, tweets get posted, rumors spread, and still I do not lose sleep over haters. Why? Because I know how I feel about me. I know who I am. I know what is true, and even if something looks very different from what it really is, even if people are talking crazy, even if they are making assumptions, even if they're speaking on things they do not understand, I still do not lose peace over it. Let them talk. That is their burden, not mine. The real question is this: are you going to watch this, feel something for a moment, say to yourself, wow, that was powerful, and then go right back to the same people, the same circles, the same dysfunction, the same negativity, the same habits, the same emotional weakness the very next day? Or are you actually going to change? Because this is a new day. This is a new day. And a new day means a new chance. A new day means a new mindset. A new day means a new decision. A new day means you can stop blaming. A new day means you can stop complaining. A new day means you can stop choosing people who do not choose you well. A new day means you can stop returning to places that destroy your peace. A new day means you can start protecting your mind, protecting your energy, protecting your emotions, protecting your future. You do not need everybody around you. You do not need to be liked by everybody. You do not need to keep proving yourself to people who already decided they would never celebrate you. You do not need to keep begging for connection from people whose presence keeps damaging your peace. You need clarity. You need discipline. You need boundaries. You need courage. You need enough self-respect to say, this no longer serves me. You need enough inner strength to say, I will not keep choosing pain just because pain feels familiar. You need enough maturity to say, I know exactly what this person, this place, this relationship, this pattern, this habit does to me. And because I know that, I will no longer participate. That is how life changes. Life changes when your choices change. Life changes when your standards change. Life changes when your environment changes. Life changes when your thinking changes. Life changes when you stop handing your peace to people who have never valued it. You want a better life? Then build one with better decisions. You want a calmer life? Then stop feeding chaos. You want a healthier life? Then stop choosing what keeps making you sick. You want peace? Then stop making room for war inside your own circle. You cannot keep planting poison and expecting peace to grow. You cannot keep feeding darkness and expect light to fill your life. You cannot keep choosing what breaks you and expect to feel whole. At some point, you have to own it. At some point, you have to stand up. At some point, you have to tell yourself the truth. And the truth is this: your life will not change until you do. Not the people around you, not the world, not the circumstances, you. You have to change. You have to think differently. You have to choose differently. You have to respond differently. You have to protect yourself differently. Because if you do not, then tomorrow will feel just like yesterday. And next week will feel just like this week. And next year will look just like this year. Not because life hates you. Not because success is against you. Not because peace is unavailable to you. But because you kept choosing what was draining you instead of choosing what could heal you. So wake up. Wake up emotionally. Wake up mentally. Wake up spiritually. Wake up in your choices. Wake up in your standards. Wake up in your relationships. Wake up in how you spend your time. Wake up in what you allow. Wake up in what you keep excusing. Wake up in what you keep tolerating. It is a new day. And that means you do not have to keep repeating the same old life. You can choose peace. You can choose discipline. You can choose health. You can choose strong boundaries. You can choose better people. You can choose a better routine. You can choose a different direction. You can choose to stop being available for everything that weakens you. You can choose to finally protect what matters most: your mind, your peace, your joy, your future. It is a new day. So do not just hear this, live it. Do not just feel this for a moment, act on it. Do not just call it powerful. Make it personal, make the change, make the decision, make the shift. And then watch how different life begins to feel when peace is no longer something you hope for, but something you finally decide to protect.